But you ain't draw the line of Stefan.
You know what?
I already know you just choosing.
You know what? But and then you know, in another sense, me as a woman, I've never been an asker, right? But if a talk to him, Jada. But if you're the type of man that's gonna, you know, like try to, I don't know if it's trying to impress me or you're just downright like, you know, here I got this, or here you know, like I'm gonna take care of you. I'm not gonna lie, like that's like okay, I like that. You know, I'm more, you know, like now you're kind of warming me up and making me feel like, you know, I had other people that were in line, but now because I feel like you're more of a man that's gonna, you know, help me out, take care of me. I'm not gonna lie, I think women like that because they're just like not the women that are just gonna ask because like I guess in a way when a man wants to like give you money or whatever, in a way it's like I'm going to give them a chance because, you know, they want to help me. They want to, it's hard to explain. I don't know. But like.
And my thing is this. I do think women like that. And there's nothing wrong with women liking that. And again, I'm not against men doing it. But if that's the reason why she likes you, that's a problem.
But what if it blossoms?
No, it ain't no but if it blossoms, all right?
You was here for the wrong reason.
Here's what happens to a lot of dudes they don't realize. So while women are saying they want a man who has money and can take care of them, which again, I agree is real for most people, there could be a man giving her money and she's still smashing the broke dude on the side. All right, because she actually likes the broke guy.
Okay,
very true. And she's hoping that something can materialize there.
You ain't never lied.
So, and I'm using
she's spending his money on the broke guy.
Exactly. Now that's an extreme example, but what I'm saying is,
and look, Jada,
as a man, you want to make sure she likes you, and the money is icing on the cake,
right? Not
that the money is the cake.
And that sets the standard for the relationship as well, because it's like if you're gonna start giving me money from the beginning.
Unless you're a dude who just, this is what you want to, again, if you're a man who says, you know what, I'm not looking for nothing serious, so I don't mind spending some money, kicking it with her, getting the benefits of being with her, you know, all right, that's your life, do it, you know what I'm saying? But if you're hoping for a serious relationship with her,
that's not the way to go.
That's not the way to go about it.
And that some men use it as a way to reel the girl in and try to be like, here, put the crumb down, you know, a little bit of money here, a little bit of
yeah, but you know what my issue with both scenarios are? My personal issue is like what ends up happening. Well, first and foremost, if you've grown up in America, you were already indoctrinated to the reward system, right? So if you go to school, right, and you get an A, you get A's and B's, you get honor roll, you get a certificate that nobody else got. So it's usually like you do right and you get a reward,
right? And
then what ends up happening is, in my personal opinion, and I could be wrong, a lot of people who are willing to take are people who don't have. So now if you're a guy and you're just giving money frivolously, right, with no intentions, the only person that's taking is the person that's in need for the most part.
Sometimes,
right?
Yeah.
So now once that person is taking and that person is taking and that person is taking, eventually your reward is no longer a reward for them. So now the person that you've built with now may start to change. Now may start to, well, it's because your value has now depleted. You know what I'm saying? Because you were giving and they were happy that you were giving and, you know, grateful, whatever the case may be. And, you know, you pursued a relationship, you've gotten into a relationship, and now what used to be a reward is now normalized. You know, especially if you take somebody who wasn't in this lifestyle and now they're in a new lifestyle. Now they become, you know, adapted to the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, the big houses. You know, they can chill. They don't have to work. $1,000 is nothing to them. $10,000 is regular to them. Now what ends up happening is that person now is becoming a different person, right? So now you're looking at this person and maybe how they treated you before was a little bit higher because these rewards were so much better than what their life was before you. And now
comfortable.
Yeah, and now they get they get not comfortable, they get used to it.
Yeah.
You know, once you get used to money, a lot of things change, right? So now this person and the dude in that situation can now find himself with a woman who is now, he's like, well, she's just changed out of nowhere. No, she didn't change. She's finally adapted. She's, you know, she's acquainted to this lifestyle. And now this is a new person that you need to be realistic. Are you going to be able to deal with? This is the person that you kind of created, You know what I'm saying? Or your resources created.
I mean, but if they're sorry,
No, go ahead.
If those other things about that woman work for you, then that can work. But the thing is, when you lose that money or when something happens, is that person going to be able to stick it out with you? And that's the question. That's the issue that lies there, because it's like, okay, I started off this relationship as being someone who gave you money, changed your lifestyle, and the moment that I can no longer provide that, do I really have a partner? So that's why it's dangerous to start a relationship like that, because now you're dealing with a woman that you're not really sure, like, where if the money stops, is this person still going to be by my side?
But, I think people have to learn how to do two things at once, essentially. Meaning, all right, again, one, the man has to ask himself, am I presenting my real lifestyle or am I trying to impress her?
Okay.
All right. Because if you're a man who's making a lot of money and you already live a nice life, I'm not going to expect you to dumb yourself down out of the fear of, well, she's going to get used to a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Also, you have to ask yourself, can I maintain this treatment? So I always tell men, like, yo, don't take her to no 5-star restaurant when you only like eating Popeyes and drinking Hennessy. Like you're not a 5-star restaurant person. Don't introduce her to things you're not going to continue. I'd rather you work your way up than to start up and come back down. But I believe that you can still treat a woman nicely, give her a nice lifestyle, all these things, and still see if she's really into you or not. I think, again, you have to just separate the moments that involve money and lavish lifestyle. So one example that comes to mind is there was a dude who he went on a couple dates with a girl. Things kind of fell apart. He was salty about it. I asked him, what was the first date? The first date was a concert. Okay. And I was like, bad move. Because even if she's not really into you, if she really wants to go to this concert, she's not turning that down. So now you're fooled by this moment that feels so good because she's enjoying herself, but she's enjoying the concert and the fact that you got her here, not who you are. So you can have these nice moments, but then you have to have a separate moment where there isn't all this stuff. Can we talk on the phone and enjoy each other? Can we sit in a room with just TV and enjoy each other? Can we be open and honest with each other? So you can do that in the midst of treating them well. But what happens with a lot of dudes who have money is every moment is defined by what he's spending on her. It's the trip and this and the nice restaurant. Where's the normal moments?
I think sometimes they're oblivious to it, though, because I remember, like, vividly being rude to some men and them just not getting it and them going harder. And it's just like, okay, at this point, we have no real foundation. Like, there's nothing that really is gonna make me want to talk to you or be with you, and you keep trying to throw things at me that are all it's gonna do is and it's like the breadcrumbs, and it's just like, that's why some women say, okay, I have him saved in my phone as, dinner. Like, you see those types of things on Instagram, but they make it, you make it so like, oh,
wait, hold on. Women got men saved under dinner? Yo, I better not be a contact like that.
Let me tell you something. If a woman is just like, you know what, today I ain't got it, but I would love to have a 5-star meal. I'm sorry, but good food make you do some crazy things.
There's a lot of crazy examples going on out there.
So they be like, this is rent, this is dinner.
Like, oh, it's the 8th.
And this Verizon, but it ain't really Verizon, it's the phone.
Oh, it's the 25th of the month. All right, let me start being nice to this dude because I know, like, that's the type of stuff that happens. But some people are like that, and I hate to say it. I'm sorry because that just makes me look crazy. But, I remember
doing it.
I remember being like, damn, like, all right, I'm gonna answer the call because I know we're gonna go somewhere really good, and I want some good
really
food.
Good.
And at that time, I probably couldn't afford to do it for myself because I'm like, damn, I really want to go to Nobu. Damn, I really want to go. We go to Polo Lounge. All right, fuck it. But I would bring my homegirls.
But you see, now, so using that guy as an example, one, I agree. A lot of them are oblivious. All right, a lot of men are horrible selectors of partners and wives. So they're not understanding what they need to look for. Right. But in that situation, he could have easily deciphered how you felt about him by asking you to hang out when it's not Nobu involved, when it's not anything fancy involved. Because you would have made an excuse for every other moment except for those things.
Absolutely.
That's when it's obvious.
But they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. Some of them are so infatuated they don't care. And again, if a man wants to deal with that, that is his choice. I just don't like to see men do that. And then when it falls apart, blaming women in general. Like, nah, you dealt with a chick who was clearly, she was clearly not into you.
And dragging it out. Because if you're spending all this money and I'm not giving you no box, or, not even just the box, but if I'm not giving you the, the chemistry that you desire, that obviously means that this is not what you think it is and you're being used.
But that's why, that's why I hate this term. I hate it with every part of my body. It ain't tricking if you got it. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
is.
tricking your goddamn self.
You are. And you absolutely are. That is tricking. Now, when you spending money and you still trying to figure out how I still ain't hit, that's a bad way. I mean, that's just a way of the world that happens.
And that's the thing. It's always about the intent. If the dude is spending it with an expectation of what he's going to get in return, he's tricking. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if you, again, I do think that some men live a higher lifestyle. So naturally, if he's dating a woman, it's just going to be like...
Wait, Stefan, hold on. No. You're my guy. You was doing really good, man.
Talk to him.
Look, we're not doing that. Any guy, if a girl says, hey, I need help, he's like, I got you. It ain't
it's happening.
Listen,
big happening.
Again,
I'm just a helper.
Listen. If you got a guy, I know a situation where a guy is a millionaire, all right? And
I can't wait for this. I've been waiting for this moment. Thank you. And I just want to thank you in advance. I want to thank him in advance.
And you got to understand something, too. A lot of perceptions of money is skewed because, so I was talking to some people about it the other day. I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta got a lot of scammers, got a lot of people in the music industry, entertainment industry. People don't realize that their money is very seasonal, all right? They might get a nice run, a nice check right now, but they don't see money for the next few months. It's not reoccurring money coming in. That person's going to have a very different approach to how they spend. They got to be a little bit tighter. Even though you might see them flexing, they still have to be tighter with their money. If you're someone who makes $1 million and you're making a reoccurring, let's say $100,000 a month, right? You think it's gonna bother this man to give some girl $500 to take care of this bill?
Thank you.
You think it's gonna bother him to go, pay for whatever?
You can't roll me.
I don't think it's gonna bother him.
I said that.
But I will say this: that $500 is adding up. And so is his intentions.
Listen.
He's like, listen, I'm not going to be Bob the Saver. Right?
No, I've been
trying to have the conversation about the people that really got it. Sometimes it's just different.
It's very different.
It's different.
And some guys, listen,
got it.
Believe it or not, some men, they actually take a joy in being that guy who can provide in that moment.
I'm about to leave.
So it's not... So it's not actually about what they're going to get back in return. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's nothing to them. Those guys wipe their butt with $100. Like, it's not a big deal. I have a homeboy, we were talking about, he was like, the other day he lost $200. And he was like, I ain't looking for that $200. Like, it's nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So in that instance, it's just a very different ball game. But I understand that that's not the average man.
Or majority.
Right. Yeah, that's not majority.
That's a 1%.
Can't wait to attack. Listen.
It's a very small percentage. Yeah. Very small percentage. But it exists.
Rico, don't nod your head like, because they attacked us when we talked about it.
The thing is, we at 8 at the Table understand one rule that we have. It's an unofficial rule. There's exceptions to everything. Okay?
There is.
So we understand that 1%, maybe 3%. Live out there, and I'm gonna go with 0.5.
Oh my God, no. Well,
But granted, the majority of men are not falling under that category.
Yeah, they're not just giving you money for nothing.
I'm just saying it exists.
And the thing is, a lot of times, what was? Oh my gosh,
you want to go in?
Because I had a girl one time I was talking to, and she was telling me how she was finessing dudes for bread, and how she finessed a guy to even get her a car. Right? And I was like, well, why don't you do that to me? She goes, because I know you and I know you're never going to give it to me. And I said, so the crazy thing is, you all know who you can ask for money.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But some relationships are for money and some of them are because
Some.
I want to put it. I want you to be in my space. I want to give you the cuckoo, everything. So I don't have that with that person. But if he's making it comfortable for me and my lifestyle, then that's what that person is for. And I'm sorry, but men do that too. You have certain women that you know, you're not going to spend money on a date on, right? But you're going to hang out with her in a cheaper way, and you're going to expect to get it because, you know, that's what you have in your mind. That's what that person is for.
I really
and then
like
you have
that
the
girl.
women. You have the women that you're just like, yo, I got this girl, baby, right? But you don't feel that way about everybody, but you still going on them dates and hanging out with them. That's what women do as well.
Well, it's a little bit different. If I'm going on cheap dates with, well, it depends, right? There's two types of women. There's the women that I'm spending a lot of time with. Those are the women that I typically will end up with, versus the other ones that I'm spending a lot of time with. I'm still gonna end up with. I'm not spending my time with a woman that I don't really like. I mean, I just can't do that. It's not in me.
But there's a difference in most of the women that you have hung out with. I know you can see that there's levels to everybody.
Yeah, but those ones don't get time. Those are seasonal.
Something. You talking to them, you're making them feel something.
Seasonal women.
Now listen, to that point though.
Thank you.
Going back to the men with money.
Get to it. Let me hear it.
Seasonal.
Sometimes that money is for the convenience of don't have any expectations on me. You know what? I'll take care of you. I'll do these things, but don't be asking me to be on the phone. Don't be asking me for all this stuff. And this is a way to make sure you're getting something out of this. I get what I want. We good. You know what I'm saying? So again, I think some men just view the money thing differently. But to her point, you know, people treat different people differently.
Absolutely.
Depending on the value that you placed on them. You know, I always say the same dude who might take one girl to a 5-star restaurant tells the next girl we can only Netflix and chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just depends on how much you want them and what you think she requires to get what you got to get from her, what you want to get from her, whether that be relationship or even sex. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. So it's going to vary.
But what I want to say is, let's make sure that this is very understood, right? This is cool, and I agree. But I also want to make sure that we understand if you are being purchased.
Okay, see, this is what he wants to do so bad.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is this:
wait for a moment.
If you are being purchased, just understand that you can be bought. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fine.
Because I think a lot of women get into denial about the fact that they have a price tag.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think people are in denial as much.
So the dude that was giving you Nobu, right? Right? I don't know if you did anything with him personally, but let's just say.
But the point was that he's not hurt by this $600.
No, it's not about the hurt part.
So I don't even gotta get nothing up because he's not hurting from it. It's like, all right, let's go to the next spot. Let's have a good time.
I'm sorry.
You don't feel that 600.
But Jada,
don't feel that.
But here's my thing, right? I gotta sit up for this. Make sure I'm still in focus. Right? My thing is this: don't come to me, right, knowing that you are worth a noble dinner. And then
this is without the box. What's worth?
With the box.
Okay, but this is without the box. So
no, not you personally.
Okay,
personally,
right,
I'm not saying, but just in general, like there are people that get bought and then try to act priceless with somebody who's of value.
Absolutely, I agree.
And that's the part where I kind of like can't fathom, right? I can't compartmentalize it. It's like, how can you allow somebody else to buy you and your time for X amount of experiences and or dollars, and then you want to act priceless for somebody that you finally deem value?
Okay, so that's a personality trait.
To me.
That's a personality trait. That's an issue with their personality.
Well, no, I think.
Go ahead, Stefan.
And I'm not trying to defend it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you are.
And I appreciate it.
I'm trying to explain it. All right, I just want to
I got
explain
you.
it. So I think it's always about one. Let me say this.
Because why you gotta be bought? Like, why you gotta be bought?
I think when women say they can't be bought, I think in their head what they're processing is there's certain men, no matter how much they spend on her, can't get her.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? So to her, there are limits to this. That's why I can't be flat out bought. But if you have enough for me to work with, and the price is right, all right, then I do think that, yes, a lot of women are going to consider that and move forward. All right?
I've said this before. I've
You know
spent
what I'm
time
saying?
with someone that like that.
And then in regards to have a price with one person, but then act priceless with the other, I think that boils down to the person they have a price for, there's no emotional investment. There's not an emotional connection there. So they're able to validate and rationalize themselves why I will entertain this because of the money being spent or whatever else comes with it. Whereas the person they actually are into, now they're emotionally invested. Now the game changes.
Love.
Exactly. And it's the same thing that happens to men, arguably. Like, I hate when women talk about, men are supposed to be hunters. So that's the reason why men should pursue, right? And I'm like, listen, yes, men have an innate desire to conquer things, but once our emotions are involved, it's a whole different ballgame. I've never heard a man who was in love say, I hope she makes me chase her. Hell no. Exactly. No man wants to deal with that once he's actually into you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I think the feelings is what changes the whole dynamic and makes people act one way with certain people and another way with other people.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm glad you didn't fully defend it.
But can I say another thing? Sorry, real quick.
If you're gonna ruin what just happened,
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. But as women, not that it's easy to like find things to. It's easier to find things to love in a man. Like I can be attracted to someone who has who considers my well-being, or is doing like you're doing certain things to make me feel like like someone that cares about me, right? So it may be different with a man. Like, if you just don't like the woman, you just don't like the woman. If she's just somebody to smash, she's just someone to smash. But after a while, if somebody is continuously pouring into you and, showing you things, taking you to nice dinners, after a while, you may have not felt a way about him before, but your feelings towards that person may grow. How many times do we see people who are in relationships that look totally different? You got people who are like, can I say the couple? Like Coco and Iced Tea. I'm sorry. Okay, but that's just an example. Maybe she just wasn't like, yo, that man fine as hell, I'm about to be with him. But maybe he was doing certain things that made her feel like, you know what, I really like how he's treating me and the life experiences that I get now. So in a way, your feelings may grow towards them.
Here's the danger with that.
Okay.
All right. So you're right, it happens.
Yeah.
But you're not really into that guy.
And that's a fact.
You've grown attached to him.
Yes.
You've learned how to tolerate him. And the minute a man that you really like comes into your life,
Rico.
Game over.
Okay.
That's
Alan. I know your claps. I can differentiate them, honey.
That's when it goes downhill.
You know
what I'm saying? And a lot of women, that's how they end up cheating. That's how they end up or unhappy in their relationship, because now, see, what happens is in falling for this guy or growing to love him, she learned how to settle for him. All right. Okay. And she convinced herself that this is the best I can get.
This is good tea.
Once better arrives into her life, and now she realizes, oh crap, this isn't the best. Now I can't go home and look at this man the same way. Now when I see that he's lacking these areas, it irritates me.
Damn.
Now I'm like, damn, and now the whole thing falls apart. So it's not a smart approach for women to take. A lot of women have done it, and it's another reason. There's a stat, I'm sure Rico knows it, where 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Women, yes,
right?
I've seen that
yes,
too.
sir, I know that one.
And I don't think, some people try to frame it as like women being ungrateful and all these things. No, I think so many women try to convince themselves that they can be with this man that they're not really into, and at some point, they face the realization that this ain't it. And now they can no longer deal with it, and the whole thing blows up.
I love it.
Wow, can I clap?
I'm sorry, let's clap. I told you I owe him some money, because this is real therapy. Like, this is you good. It's a good guy right here. Put you on payroll. We got to roll up.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Because it's so good. This is
his fault, by the way. Nobody told him to be good.
Right. Nobody told you to do all of that.
And I hope that's not a bad comparison. You're like the Mayweather of this shit.
Yo, facts. Like, right. Like,
and it was like, damn.
This is good. You got it together, man.
Thank you.
Wait. So are you married with all of this information?
I'm not married.
Well, why not? Let's get into it. Let's go back to the episode. I know we've been here for a while, but we might as well dive into it. Where your boo at?
It's been a great episode.
Where's
Stephon.
your boo?
You can follow him at.
Obviously something's wrong.
I'm gonna answer this. All right.
Okay.
One, let me say that there's so many ways to answer this because there's so many layers to it. But I think people fail to realize that when you're in this position, it only gets harder. It doesn't get easier. But for me, I'm a very spiritual person, so it's all about when God said it's time. And I recently started thinking like, okay, why hasn't it happened yet? And again, I meet wonderful women all the time. It's just about, okay, is there a connection? Is this who God wants me to align myself with? that's a whole nother discussion that a lot of people don't take the time to dive into. So a lot of people won't understand my position. But what recently came to me was, if she came now, would I still be doing everything he wants me to do?
Ooh.
I might take my foot off the pedal a little bit.
That.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when there's a calling on your life, there's certain things that have to be established first before that can come. We've been tricked into this whole, like, we're running out of time, we're getting old. Like, understand, we got a lot of life to live, a lot. Especially in today's world, people are getting younger and younger. You know, a decade or 2 decades ago, 40 looked a complete different way. 30 looked a complete different way. Yeah. So it's not what it used to be, but we've convinced ourselves that I have to do this by this point, do this by that. No, I have to do it when God says it's time for me to do it. And that might take longer than other people think it should take, but I can't be concerned with what they see and how they view it. It's about what God knows is best.
Received that. Have you ever considered being a preacher?
I've been told that, but I'm not. It's not gonna happen.
Okay, well, I received that.
You know, Stefan, I want to let you know the #1 trap for women is a man that's fulfilling his purpose.
Get up out of here.
Just saying. I can align.
What you think is the devil?
With that being said,
these women is the devil. Trying to distract you.
No, I didn't say that, but
I know.
What I will say is it's been great having you. If on a closeout, if you could definitely go ahead and tell them, you know, what you got coming up, where they can find you, and keep on following you so you can keep on enlightening more people.
Yeah, just check me out on my YouTube, / Stefan Speaks, on any social media, Stefan Speaks, Instagram, all of that, or go to www.stefanspeaks.com.
It's been great. Everybody, please keep on liking, subscribing, and supporting. Don't forget to tap into our Patreon or our YouTube membership program. We'll see you next time at 8 at the Table.
Thank you, Rico. Can I get some words? And I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. This has been one of my favorite conversations.
Thank you.
I absolutely am a fan. I am going to like, follow, subscribe, tell my cousin, my auntie, and them, because you are very, we need you in the community. And I hope that a lot of people listen to you and that, you know, you're a good influence. And I appreciate you coming here today. So thank you. Back to Rico. Good night.